All right, so let's dive into coffee culture.
Okay.
And we're not just talking about like the drink itself,
Right.
but the whole ecosystem surrounding it. You know, the rituals, the impact that it's had on societies over the centuries.
Yeah, it's really amazing how coffee has just woven itself into the fabric of societies across the globe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a beverage that sparked revolutions, it's fueled artistic movements,
Yes, true.
and, it's become a daily ritual for millions.
It really is more than just a caffeine fix.
Oh, yeah.
Where do we even begin to unpack all of this?
Well, I guess we could start with its origins.
Yeah, how does this little bean conquer the world?
Well, the story starts in Ethiopia,
Okay.
centuries ago. Imagine shepherds noticing their goats getting strangely energized
Wow.
after munching on these bright red berries.
Really?
And that's where coffee cultivation first took root.
So goats are the unsung heroes of coffee.
You could say that.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But how did it spread from those Ethiopian highlands to seemingly every corner of the planet?
Well, it's a tale of trade routes, religious rituals, and even a bit of smuggling.
Oh, wow.
Think Sufi monks in Yemen using coffee to stay alert during late-night prayers.
Okay, so coffee was aiding spiritual practices back then. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, they were among the first to cultivate coffee on a larger scale.
So how did it jump from religious circles to the bustling cafes we know today?
Well, the Ottoman Empire played a key role in that transformation.
Okay.
Coffee houses began popping up in major cities like Istanbul, becoming vibrant social hubs where people gathered to discuss news, politics, even play games.
Oh, so those early coffee houses were like the original social media of their time, a place to connect and share ideas.
Exactly.
I can almost picture it.
Yeah.
The lively debates and the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filling the air.
Absolutely.
And this coffee house culture wasn't confined to the Ottoman Empire, was it?
Not at all. It spread throughout the Middle East and eventually reached Europe in the 16th century.
And that's when coffee houses really exploded in popularity, right?
Yes, especially in England.
Yeah, they became centers of intellectual life.
Absolutely. In 17th century, London coffee houses were known as penny universities.
Penny universities.
Because for the price of a cup of coffee, you could engage in lively discussions with scholars, artists, and merchants.
It's amazing how coffee facilitated this exchange of knowledge and ideas. It makes you wonder if those coffee houses fueled some of the great innovations of the time.
Yeah, it's quite possible.
But wasn't there some resistance to coffee's spread?
You're right, coffee wasn't universally welcomed.
Really?
Yeah, in some places it was viewed with suspicion, even seen as a threat to social order.
What were people so afraid of?
Well, in some cases, rulers feared that coffee houses could become breeding grounds for dissent or even rebellion.
It's so ironic. I mean, something we consider so commonplace was once seen as subversive.
It's true.
It's a reminder that even seemingly simple things like a cup of coffee can be intertwined with power dynamics and social change. But despite those early challenges, coffee's popularity continued to grow, right?
Oh, absolutely. By the 18th century, coffee had become a truly global commodity, with plantations established in the Americas and Asia.
Wow.
And with that expansion came a fascinating diversification of coffee cultures.
That's what I find so intriguing. It's not just one monolithic coffee culture, but a kaleidoscope of traditions and rituals around the world.
Exactly.
Can we dive into some of those?
Certainly. Let's start with Italy, where espresso is practically a religion.
Okay.
It's not just a drink, it's a way of life.
I've always been curious about that. Why is espresso such a cornerstone of Italian culture?
Well, it's partly about the fast-paced lifestyle.
Yeah.
Espresso is a quick hit of energy, perfect for those standing at the counter, coffee bars that are ubiquitous in Italy.
So it's like coffee on the go, but with a distinctly Italian flair.
Precisely. And there's a real art to making a perfect espresso.
I bet.
From the grind of the beans to the pressure of the machine, it's a skill that's respected and admired in Italian culture.
So it's not just about the drink itself, but the craftsmanship that goes into it. How does that compare to, say, the coffee culture in Northern Europe?
Well, in countries like Sweden or Finland, coffee breaks are much more leisurely affairs.
Oh.
Think cozy gatherings with friends or colleagues lingering over cups of coffee and pastries.
That sounds delightful.
They call it fika.
Fika.
It's a concept deeply ingrained in their culture, a time to pause, connect, and savor the moment.
Okay, fika definitely goes on my list of things to experience.
You should.
It seems like coffee rituals can be as varied as the countries themselves.
Absolutely. And each tradition reflects something unique about the values and social norms of that culture. It's part of what makes exploring coffee culture so fascinating.
So we've gone from Ethiopian goats to Italian espresso to Swedish fika.
It's been quite a journey.
Coffee has certainly taken us on quite a journey so far.
And we've only just scratched the surface. There's so much more to uncover about the social dynamics, the artistry, and the global impact of coffee. Where should we go next? So we've talked about how coffee rituals vary across cultures.
Yeah.
But what about the spaces where those rituals take place?
Yeah.
Coffee houses have played such a pivotal role in shaping social interaction for centuries.
Oh, definitely. They've been gathering places for artists, intellectuals, revolutionaries,
Right.
everyday folks just looking for a good cup and some conversation.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how they've evolved over time, though.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Think about those early coffee houses in the Ottoman Empire.
Okay.
They were bustling, lively spaces, often with music, games, storytelling.
It's like they were the original social clubs, a place to unwind and connect with your community. And that social aspect continued even as coffee houses spread to Europe, right?
Exactly. In the 17th and 18th centuries, coffee houses became integral to European intellectual life. They were places where ideas were debated, news was shared, even businesses were conducted.
I remember reading about those famous London coffee houses where Enlightenment thinkers would gather. It's like they were incubators for new ideas fueled by caffeine and passionate discussion.
That's a great way to put it. And that spirit of intellectual exchange continues in coffee houses today, although in a slightly different form.
Oh, for sure. Now we have open mic nights, poetry slams, art exhibitions.
Right.
Coffee houses are still hubs for creativity and community engagement.
You see that trend all over the world. Coffee shops are often where local artists and musicians start showcasing their work to a receptive audience.
It's like they're mini cultural centers, reflecting the unique character of their neighborhood.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the events they host.
Okay.
The design and ambiance of coffee houses also play a role in shaping the experience.
You know, it's something I've always found interesting. You can walk into a coffee shop and instantly get a sense of its vibe, whether it's cozy and intimate or sleek and modern.
It's true, some coffee houses are designed for lingering conversations, while others cater to the grab-and-go crowd, and the music, the lighting, the furniture.
Yeah.
They all contribute to that overall atmosphere.
It's like they're carefully curated spaces, each with its own personality. And speaking of personality, let's talk about the people behind the counter, the baristas.
Yeah.
They're more than just coffee makers, aren't they?
That's not at all. Yeah. A skilled barista is like an artist blending science and intuition to craft the perfect cup.
Right.
They understand the nuances of different beans roasts and brewing methods.
It's fascinating to watch them work, the precision with which they grind the beans, camp the espresso, and steam the milk. There's a real artistry to it.
And don't forget about latte art.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the barista's creativity really shines through, turning a simple latte into a beautiful masterpiece.
It's amazing how they can create those intricate designs with just steamed milk and a steady hand. It's like they're adding a personal touch to each drink.
And that personal touch is part of what makes going to a coffee shop so special. You're not just getting a beverage, you're interacting with someone who's passionate about coffee.
It's true. A good barista can make you feel like you're part of a community, even if you're just stopping in for a quick caffeine fix. And speaking of passion, there's a whole world of coffee enthusiasts out there who take their love for coffee to a whole new level.
Absolutely. These are the folks who are constantly seeking out new roasts and origins, experimenting with different brewing methods, and geeking out over the subtle nuances of flavor profiles.
It's like they've turned coffee appreciation into an art form.
They certainly have, and their dedication is part of what's driving the specialty coffee movement, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in terms of quality and flavor.
You know, I've noticed a real shift towards specialty coffee in recent years. People are becoming more discerning about their coffee choices, seeking out unique and ethically sourced beans.
That's a great point. There's a growing awareness of the importance of sustainability and fair trade practices in the coffee industry. Consumers want to know where their coffee comes from and how it's produced.
It's like our love for coffee is prompting us to be more responsible consumers,
Yeah.
thinking about the entire journey from bean to cup.
Precisely, and that's driving positive change in the industry with more emphasis on fair trade practices, organic farming, and reducing carbon footprints.
So it's not just about enjoying our coffee. It's about ensuring a future where coffee is produced ethically and sustainably. And speaking of the future, any predictions about what coffee trends we might see emerge?
Well, one trend that's gaining momentum is the focus on personalization.
Yeah,
People want coffee experiences that are tailored to their individual tastes and preferences.
that makes sense. We're already seeing it with the rise of customizable coffee subscriptions and specialty cafes that offer a wide range of brewing methods and beans.
Exactly. I think we'll see even more emphasis on creating personalized coffee experiences, whether it's through advanced brewing technology or simply by providing more choices and information to consumers.
So instead of just ordering a coffee, you might specify the exact bean origin, roast level, and brewing method you prefer. That's pretty cool.
And it empowers coffee drinkers to become more engaged and knowledgeable about their coffee choices. And another trend I see emerging is the integration of coffee into other aspects of our lives.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we're already seeing coffee-inspired cocktails, desserts, and even beauty products. I think that crossover will continue with coffee becoming even more integrated into culinary creations, wellness routines, and even artistic expressions.
It's like coffee is breaking free from the confines of the cup and finding its way into all sorts of unexpected places.
Exactly. And that speaks to the versatility and enduring appeal of coffee. It's a beverage that continues to inspire creativity and innovation.
Speaking of evolution, I'm curious about the health aspects of coffee. There's been a lot of back and forth about whether it's good or bad for you. What's the current consensus?
Well, like most things in life, it's about moderation. Moderate coffee consumption has actually been linked to some health benefits, like improved cognitive function and a reduced risk of certain diseases.
Okay, so that's good news for those of us who rely on our daily caffeine fix.
Yeah,
But I'm guessing too much coffee can have negative effects.
that's right. Overdoing it can lead to anxiety, insomnia, and even heart palpitations, and it's important to be mindful of what you're adding to your coffee.
You mean all the sugar and cream that can turn a healthy drink into a calorie bomb?
Exactly. A simple black coffee or one with a splash of milk is a much healthier choice.
So enjoy your coffee, but do it in moderation. And be mindful of what you add to it. Good advice for life in general, I'd say.
I completely agree, and I think that's a good place to pause. For now, we've explored a lot of facets of coffee culture, from its historical roots to the modern-day coffeehouse scene.
Where does coffee culture go from here? I mean, we've seen it evolve so much over the centuries.
It's a fascinating question. On one hand, we have this growing appreciation for tradition and craft,
Right.
with a resurgence of interest in older brewing methods like pour-over and siphon coffee.
It's like a return to the roots of coffee making,
Yeah.
a focus on slowing down and savoring the process.
Exactly. And at the same time, we're seeing incredible innovation in coffee technology with new gadgets and brewing systems constantly emerging.
Like those smart coffee makers that can be controlled with your phone, or those high-tech espresso machines that look like they belong in a science lab.
It's amazing how technology is transforming the way we experience coffee, but ultimately I think the future of coffee culture lies in finding a balance between tradition and innovation.
So honoring the craft and ritual of coffee making while also embracing new possibilities.
Yeah.
I like that. And what about the role of sustainability? We touched on that earlier.
Well, sustainability is becoming increasingly crucial for the coffee industry. Consumers are demanding more transparency about sourcing practices and the environmental impact of coffee production.
It's like our love for coffee is prompting us to be more responsible consumers, thinking about the entire journey from bean to cup.
Precisely, and that's driving positive change in the industry with more emphasis on fair trade practices, organic farming, and reducing carbon footprints.
So it's not just about enjoying our coffee, it's about ensuring a future where coffee is produced ethically and sustainably. And speaking of the future, any predictions about what coffee trends we might see emerge?
Well, one trend that's gaining momentum is the focus on personalization. People want coffee experiences that are tailored to their individual tastes and preferences.
That makes sense. We're already seeing it with the rise of customizable coffee subscriptions and specialty cafes that offer a wide range of brewing methods and beans.
Exactly. I think we'll see even more emphasis on creating personalized coffee experiences, whether it's through advanced brewing technology or simply by providing more choices and information to consumers.
So instead of just ordering a coffee, you might specify the exact bean origin, roast level, and brewing method you prefer.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
And it empowers coffee drinkers to become more engaged and knowledgeable about their coffee choices. And another trend I see emerging is the integration of coffee into other aspects of our lives.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we're already seeing coffee-inspired cocktails, desserts, and even beauty products. I think that crossover will continue with coffee becoming even more integrated into culinary creations, wellness routines, and even artistic expressions.
It's like coffee is breaking free from the confines of the cup and finding its way into all sorts of unexpected places.
Exactly. And that speaks to the versatility and enduring appeal of coffee. It's a beverage that continues to inspire creativity and innovation.
As we wrap up our deep dive into coffee culture, I'm left with a sense of awe at the sheer depth and richness of this world. From its humble origins to its global reach, coffee has woven itself into the fabric of human experience.
It's a beverage that connects us across cultures, fuels our creativity, and provides moments of both comfort and stimulation.
So the next time you savor a cup of coffee, take a moment to appreciate the centuries of history, the intricate processes, and the passionate individuals that have brought that cup to your hands.
And remember that coffee culture is a dynamic and ever-evolving phenomenon. Who knows what new discoveries and delights await us in the world of coffee?
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? There's always something new to explore and appreciate in the world of coffee. Cheers to that.